Okay, all right, guys. So thanks for coming to the Monday Night Dream Team Zoom. We meet here every Monday night at 7:30 Eastern. Our topics always change, and sometimes it's relevant to what's happening with the company, and sometimes it's just relevant to being a promoter. So with it being April 1st, and there being so many, like people are hitting ranks left and right, and so people are excited. Like I've got one side of my phone, and then on the other side of my phone, I have people who are getting really down on themselves or getting down on the business or whatever. And so what I wanted to talk about tonight, and so I thought Susan would be the perfect guest for this, is what it takes to be in this business for the long haul, because this is not for the faint of heart. This is truly a business. And I know a lot of people come in not knowing that. I know some people come in not even necessarily with the idea that they're going to run a business. They just loved a product, bought a promoter pack maybe for a discount, but now they're starting to build a business. So what I wanted Susan to hit on tonight, and some of the things that I want to make sure we talk about tonight, are the fact that this is not, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, you will see on social media people who come into the company and within 28 days, they're 80K or something crazy like that. And then you're like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing wrong? We're going to talk about like the reality of business, the fact that this is a sales business, and sales have cycles. They ebb and they flow. They go up and down. And when you're in a down, that's when it's hard. That's when you have to remember why you're here, because it's not as easy. You're sending out messages and not getting a response, or you're looking at your PPA and it's a big fat zero. That's just sales. That's business. And so I know that one of the things I want to touch on too, there have been some public figures, I guess, that have left the company over the last few months. And I want everyone to understand that when you see someone stand on the millionaire's stage, which a lot of these people have, that means they've earned $1 million in income during their time with the company. So some people earned $1 million earlier than others. I want you to understand that just because someone earned $1 million and then chose to leave doesn't mean they walked away from $1 million business. It most likely, and I don't know it for a fact, but it most likely means they walked away from a hard, challenging business where they weren't still keeping up with the momentum that they had or the volume that they had. And honestly, it was easier in their mind to walk away versus keep building. And if there's one thing I know about business is you constantly have to keep building business. There's a lot of people on here who aren't on my team. So just really quickly, just so you have an idea of why I'm even talking. My husband and I own a business. He's owned it for almost 20 years. Prior to that, I had my own business, and now I have my Lavelle business. Not at no time during any of this owning a business have we ever sat back and been like, yeah, look at the money rolling in. Like, you always have to work your business. So I couldn't think of anybody better, honestly, than Susan to talk about being in this for the long haul. She's been in it for the long haul. She's in it for the long haul. She's been on the millionaire stage, and she works every day to keep her volume at such that she will continue to be on a millionaire stage. So that's just my 2 cents. That's kind of what I wanted to open up with, just also to give Susan some direction of where we're headed with this. And I will say to everybody, according to my clock, it is 7:36, and Zoom will cut us off at the 40-minute mark. I have the free Zoom. For those of you that aren't doing team Zooms, that's crazy because you can do it for free for 40 minutes. So Susan, even if we get to the point where I'm like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and it counts down, that's fine. You can just keep talking if you need to. But yeah, as you have questions, do the little chat. I'll make sure to give them. That way Susan doesn't have to pay attention to that. So anyway, I'm going to mute out and I'm going to turn this over to Susan.
Wait, I just lost you. Did you mute out and did you ask me a question?
Oh, no, I'm going to mute out and I'm going to let you take over. That way there's no background sound for my dogs.
Okay. But I love your dog. Yeah. So, hey guys, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Susan Coffman. I am the leader of Freedom Thrivers. I have been in this business for a little over 5 years. I started literally just because I wanted to get my products for free, but I did not want to be part of a business. I just clicked the promoter button to help my friend Maria finish a goal. I did not have the money to buy my products. I did the credit card thing like a lot of people do. And I say this often, I had a choice to click the customer or the promoter button. The reason I clicked the promoter button because I was going to get my products for free one way or another, but I might as well get paid on that too, right? So if I'm going to be referring people, I'm going to get paid on it. And all I thought was, man, if this was like an extra $50 a month, that's a family meal. And as a single mom, that was a cool deal. So I didn't really take it seriously. I just distinctly remember, somebody wanting to do this with me. And so they did. And then I was, halfway to the VIP 800. So why not find another person and then get a couple of customers? And before I knew it, we had earned that $1,320 in bonuses. And I thought that was really cool because it really didn't seem that hard. I literally let Maria do all the talking. That's where this is like the first week of being in the business. But here was the kicker. I didn't have any product. I had not even started it yet, but I was sharing, going, hey, this is apparently going to be a really cool deal. You should do it with me. That's how it worked. And I finally had a story after 13 days of being in the business. I'm very thankful that I actually went ahead and shared it with people, or I wouldn't have earned those bonuses. And that was right before Christmas. The third week of being in business after earning the $1,320, I didn't tell anybody about Thrive. I was busy that week. I don't know what I was doing. My next check was $0. I still look at my commission and I see the 660 or the 560 plus $100 in credit, the 560, $100 in credits, zero. I really liked those first two checks. I needed to get another one. So I was like, well, okay, the only way to do that is to tell people about this thing. Well, I'm starting to have a story by that time, so why not? So I told a few more people, but all I did was tell them they needed to check this out, but I don't really know what to tell you, so let me let you talk to my friend Maria. Kid you not, Maria probably got me to 12K, and all I did was connect her with people, which was great for me because I was earning, I earned the 4K iPad in less than 30 days. And I happened to come in at a time of the month where my volume counted for the end of November and all of December. So by the end of December, I'd earned the car bonus. Okay. So I tell everybody, she probably talked to the first 30 to 35 people for me. I just connected her. That is key, guys, because I didn't know what the heck I was talking about, but every time I listened to her, I was learning something. So here was the deal. At that point, then I was like, let's take it serious. This could really, $200 or $300 a month is going to be a pretty big deal in my household as a single mom, right? Now, I have a college degree from Texas A&M. I had a great career. I was a single mom with a great career. I had a great job and a great career. Doing home networking things. It wasn't something I was unfamiliar with because when my son was 2 and my daughter was born, I was doing another direct sales company. It wasn't anything like this one, but it was something. So I could stay home with my kids. But it was hard. I had to be at parties. I had to go do things. And so it was tough. So therefore, that wasn't really something I ever thought I would ever do again. When I started really taking Thrive seriously, I didn't have any intention of leaving my job, though I was doing daily steps every day, which many of you know is the calendar challenge or the 5 4 3 2 1. Look, millionaire still printing off her 5 4 3 2 1 sheet to work every week. I literally was still doing all those things, 20 to 30 minutes a day in the nooks and crannies of my day. This is all like in the first few months. And of course it was duplicating. It was not an option for people not to hit their VIPs when I started. It was not an option. Everybody had to do it. Why wouldn't you do it? It's free money. Why would you not do it? That was my mentality. I have fallen from that. And I have noticed that I don't have as many personal VIPs as I did back in the beginning. Why? So that's my 2019 goal, is to make sure that I have them. Okay. So I just kept going. And I have to kind of fast forward. Yes, I just kept 100K. I fell backwards and I was no longer at 200K. And that's a big slap in the face when you're on a pretty big high for getting that prestigious. It's like earning your car bonus and then losing your car bonus. It's a big deal in people's families. Being a 200K, losing 200K. It's tough, but I was the only one who could fix that. I could not blame it on my team. I could not blame it on the people above or below me. It was me. I had to figure it out. So I picked up what I'd always known and I just pushed forward. and we continued to grow a business. It's one of the things I want to say about being in it for the long haul. And I'm going to kind of just tell you some situations that happened. And I hope you listen to me and know that I'm not trying to sound pretentious. I'm not trying to sound egotistical. I'm not trying to sound like I'm too big for my pants, because I put my pants on like everybody else does each and every day. If y'all saw me on the live this morning, you know I did not look like this. I was looking pretty rough on my live this morning with you guys. But here is a big reality I have, and I've had this conversation with a few people over the past just few days. It's been kind of surreal to me. I actually walked into a pizza place here in town this weekend, going to listen to a singer that I have watched for years. He's probably 24, 25 years old now, but I still call him a kid. And he's super, super loves that I have supported his singing career. And when I walked into that room in my little hometown, the room was full of people that I probably knew 95% of the people in there. And in that process of being in there, I looked around that room and realized not one person in there was thriving with me. That is still not the story. For the past 10 years, in case y'all don't know this, I have been married, I've been divorced, I've been through 2 horrifying custody battles to fight for my kids, because, you know, sometimes ex-husbands are like that. I've been up and down on a roller coaster. I started a relationship with the husband that I have now, went through tons of criticism, because, you know, everybody has an opinion about your life when you're growing up. Everybody has an opinion about your motherhood. Everybody has an opinion about your job. I have been through, I could write a freaking book, and I might do that when I retire. I could write a book on stories of the crap I have been through. Crap. Thank God I have loving parents who still continue to build me up. But as I walked into that room that night, I looked around and thought of all the people who have had an opinion about my marriage, my divorce, my new marriage, and the business that I'm in. All of them have had an opinion about it. Some in front of my face, some behind my back. The ones to my face, super hurtful. Very, very hurtful. And a guy and his wife came in and they sat down, and he's actually my financial advisor, so he's a good friend of ours. But his ex-wife was one of my very best friends, who sat down in front of me 4.5 years ago and told me, hey, you're losing friends because of this Thrive thing you keep talking about. I want y'all to remember that statement that one of my very best friends said to me the day before I'm leaving for a Lavelle trip. Shocking. My very best, somebody who had been on the stand for me in a custody battle, who had supported me and held me up through a nasty divorce, everything, said that to my face. I walk into a room full of people on Saturday night. All of them have had an opinion about what I do and decisions I've made in my life. The guy and his wife sit down beside me, and he was like, okay, like, are you okay with us sitting here? Because I'm pretty sure you're going to get some ridicule from this, because, you know, people talk. And I just looked at him with the most dumbfounded look on my face. Like, it was, what? Why did you just say that? And he said, well, you know, they're going to be critical because they were friends with his ex-wife or whatever. And I literally sat there and I thought for a minute, and some words of Maria Dillard came back to me. Okay, this is the part that I don't want y'all to think that I'm sounding super egotistical or pretentious. It's just I'm a great negotiator. The house, my dream house that I got to buy in September, is the biggest house in this town. Nobody has a house bigger than mine. Now, that sounds super pretentious and egotistical, but I want you to know where I'm going with this story. Now, I got a great deal in this house, and nobody knows that. It's because I'm a bargain person. But I literally sat and looked around that room of where I am today from 5.5 years ago, and I clicked that button, and all I wanted to do was get my products for free, and then I started this thing. Am I so thankful that the opinions of others did not dictate where I am today in the decisions that I made? Am I so grateful that 4.5 years ago, when my best friend sat on the back porch and told me that? By the way, I want y'all to know my mama was sitting there. She almost died. She was like, what? My now husband actually heard that comment and was like, I cannot believe somebody would actually say that to you. People are just people. All the people who criticized me for leaving my full-time job to do this, all the people who thought I was crazy for doing direct sales, they're not in the long haul with me. I'm so thankful that their opinions, their negativity, the people who on my team, the people who criticize my team, the people who are millionaires in this company and leave this company, they do not dictate my life or my decisions or my future. I do. So I have always held true to what I believe in this product, and it's got me to where I am today. It's brought me to get to meet all of you people. I mean, honestly, and thankfully we have an amazing team. I really don't want that whole big house thing to sound super stupid. I was really trying to paint the picture on this. If I would have listened to any of that crap 4.5, 5 years ago, when I was literally trying to build this business and deciding if I was going to be in this for the long haul, would I be in this position today where I get to stay home with my kids? I get to homeschool the oldest kid who's going to college on a rodeo scholarship, but I had to homeschool him or we would not have been able to be in the practice pen and do all the things that we have to do. Somebody had to homeschool him. I had that opportunity because I got to work from home. The daughter, if any of you, most of you have met my daughter because she travels with me some, you can imagine her schedule. Thank God that I have the flexibility, but I still work every day to do the things that I do so that I can be there for her. My children will grow up and leave this household with the memory of Mama cooked them breakfast every morning because she could. She had the time. Mama worked her ass off to get to where we are today, to do the things that we get to do and to be in the places that we get to be. And I never want any of that stuff taken away from me. So Jesus, please know my heart on this. But I need everybody to understand there are times that Susan, though y'all see this is Susan Millionaire, there is a lot of crap I've had to go through to get to this point, and it's made me who I am today. And so I'm grateful that I made the decision over 5 years ago to say, okay, I'm about to take this and run with it. Y'all can jump on, jump off. I'm going. Nobody's going to stop me because I'm the only person who can change the things that were happening in my family with my kids at that time, because it was just me and them. So we had to do that. I'm the only person who can do that. Am I strong enough to be in it for the long haul? I think so. Dear Jesus, please do not throw anything my way, or Satan, don't throw anything my way. I don't need that. But how have I done it? How have I done it with all that crap that's happened? And how have I done it with the negativity in my own little town? How have I done it with, and those of you who live in my little town that are on my team, please don't judge me for any of that stuff. You know my heart. How have I done it? Every week have this thing, and I have a crap ton of notes on the back. Every week, this is my lifeline. If this ever went away, I do not know what I would do. Every Monday, I start with this, and here it is. It's time to go. I need to fill it in for the day. But over on the side, I have extra things. Did I do my homework challenge that I give to y'all? Did I do it? I have to do it. Did I read my Bible? Did I pray for this team? Did I drink a gallon of water? Oh, dear Lord, I'm still working on it. But I will. Did I exercise today? Did I do all those things? And did I work my business? Because it is so easy to not work your business, but you don't have a choice. You have to keep doing it. If you want the opportunity, if you want the things, the options in your life, if you want that, you got to keep working it. I'm not going to lie. Last week, oh my gosh, I wanted to bang my head on this glass desk. I was like, oh, I just wanted to scream. But very fortunately, I had a very big event at the dealership where I worked for 8 years that pretty much fired me to do this because I chose to do Thrive. We joke about that now, but I don't really. Anyway, they gave me an ultimatum, and I chose to do this. But I was back 3 years after leaving there to do an event that they were hosting for my team. It was a little uncomfortable, but I'm so glad that though I was feeling like I was about to pull all my hair out, that I went to that local, I filled my cup. I probably shared 22 seconds of my story, and that was it, because I wanted to hear everybody else's because that's what I needed that day. And it worked. And I was like, back on fire. Let's go. We got 3 days left in this month. We got to go. We got to get things to do. And here we are in the first day of the month, starting all over again with 0 QV. But it's all worth it. It's all worth it of every single day, even on the days that I want to bang my head up against the wall and I get somebody important in my life that says, hey, that's why things really not working. You just want to roll your eyes or punch them in the face. Don't do that. But that's what you want to do. That's why you have to keep building, because those people are going to come in and out of your life. And so that's why I stick with this so that I always have new people. So, okay, Tammy, I'm going to turn it back over to you. What do you want to talk about now?
Okay. So first of all, I want to make sure everyone, I don't know, you're probably not looking at the comments, so I'm going to read some of the comments to you because they're not actually questions. So we have a kind of a saying on Dream Team on Monday nights. Typically, once we open up for questions or comments or whatever, there's always somebody in the group who, for whatever reason, takes us to what we call Thrive Church. And so you've definitely taken us to Thrive Church tonight, which is awesome. Like, we love it. So, Susan, you're speaking to my soul. Thank you for sharing this. Lots of praying hands and clapping hands. Goosebumps. I love everything about this. Hitting home with me. People will say all kinds of things. I am crying. I'm 100% needed this. Love going to Thrive Church on Mondays. Man, you're hitting it on the nail. I needed this. Still reeling from opinions of others. So those are like the comments that are coming through. And I can tell you I've never had this many comments before in my life. I did not tell Susan anything to talk about. She doesn't know any of your personal stories, but there's probably 6 of you on here right now who I know think that I called Susan and told her what's going on in your world. And I didn't. So I don't understand. This is real life. This is being in business. Like I compared it earlier to the fact that Tom and I have a business. We own a business in a small town. People talk. People have opinions. People always have something to say about what you're doing or what you're not doing. But the fact of the matter is it's your business in your life. And while they're probably cyberbullying you because it's so easy to sit at home and judge people while you're eating potato chips out of one hand and typing with the other, it's those of you that get up every day, wipe the sweat off, dust yourself off, and go at it again that are going to be in that. I mean, I'm an 80K. I've been an 80K for what feels like 3,000 in 20 years, but it's not. It's just been a few years. When the time's right, our team will blossom. We have gone through rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding, but what counts and what is so important to me is that we are constantly rebuilding. No one's ever just said, this is too hard, I quit. And honestly, the ones that have left, bye. I don't want that. I want a business that will take me to the long run. If it takes me till my 20th year to stand on the millionaire stage, you guys, it doesn't matter. You could still earn $1 million. You'll still get up there. It just won't be quite as, one lump sum. No, I don't know. I wanted you to talk about like how it's not easy. Cause I do think it's for us looking into millionaire Susan with the giant house and all that stuff. And you're right. We totally get what you were saying. But I think sometimes when people look at that, they forget that where you came from, how hard you work. And I know for a fact, people forget how hard you work every day to stay there. People send me a message all the time. I'm posting on Facebook. I'm not at 200K yet. And I'm like, that's all you're doing is posting on Facebook and you think you're going to be 200K? Like, do you think that Susan just does like a post every morning and people flock to her?
I don't even know if I've got a post in today yet. Like, I need to go look.
It's on your homework sheet. I know it will get done.
It'll get done.
Yeah, but I'm a disciple, I guess you would say, of the calendar challenge. It was when I first started, I didn't know what to do. So I that randomly popped up one day in one of the groups and I was like, oh, I like a to-do list. And so I did the calendar challenge. And then now I do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm totally loving the homework. If you guys aren't in the homework group, I want to tell you right now, it makes the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 look like child's play. If you think you're working your business, you're not actually working your business till you get in the homework group. Like, I know the first week or so of the homework group, I was stressed out. Like, I thought I was working a lot, but I wasn't. And now it's just like I'm staring at it as I keep looking because it's right here next to me. So I just want everyone to take away from this that it doesn't matter if you're new or you've been in this for years. You have to do something every single day. And I also think what's important, and like Susan's been holding up her 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's not the same calendar challenge that she started with years ago. So your business will change. It will evolve. And you've got to be willing to change and evolve. You've always got to be learning. You always have to stay a student. And actually, we do have a little bit of time left. So could you talk a little bit about, maybe what you did back then that now, like, don't really spend too much time on that, but like what's changed for you? Like, what are you doing differently? Like, I know we used to do three-way calls a lot. I feel like we do a lot more chats now. We do a lot more reaching out to strangers on social media. So if you want to talk about that a little.
Yeah, there's a few things I do different because, before, and I'll never forget when I left my job, it was like the next week we had the Thrive event, the big Thrive Police event, wasn't called that then. And I remember coming off that stage and Paul Gravett grabbing my arm and he was like, Susan, are you going to be able to do this? Because, before I was doing my business 20 to 30 minutes a day because I had a full-time job. Well, now I had all the time in the world, right? So was I going to be able to do this? And I looked at him and I was like, I'm the creator of the calendar challenge. Of course I'm going to be able to do this, but now I'm going to have more time to do it. So here's something that the difference is, well, one, I don't have to go to a full-time job anymore, but I did build myself to 200K with a full-time job. So that is zero excuse. 2 kids, single mom, zero excuse of I'm too busy to get to 200. No, it can be done. This little thing right here can be done in 20 minutes. However, if you want to be a 200K, you're probably going to have to step up your game a little bit, maybe 45 minutes a day. So, but now here's some things I do different. I work in time chunks. So if you are at home or you're working your business, I do time chunks. So I'll do 20 minutes of, I'm going to do 20 minutes of reach outs. I'm not on Facebook. I mean, I'm reaching. The timer goes off. Drink 5 gulps of water, go do 20 minutes of cleaning up the kitchen or taking clothes out of the laundry or walking the new dog, whatever. Clear your mind. That timer goes off, that stuff stops. I come back. Now it's time to do 20 minutes of follow-ups. No question asked. That's what I'm doing. Okay. I'm not going to stop and start looking at Pinterest or emails or Netflix, whatever. I'm going to do the 20 minutes of that. Timer goes off, 5 gulps of water. Got to get that gallon in a day, right? I go back out there. Eventually, everything in my house is clean, right? There's nothing else to do. So I may literally run up and down the stairs, or I may change my timer to 40 minutes and I'll do 40 minutes of work and 20 minutes of clearing my brain, whatever. So the time chunk thing, that was something that somebody shared with me that has been key, especially if I really tell this to a lot of stay-at-home moms. Because they'll look up at the end of the day, they hadn't got their house clean, their laundry done, the kids are running around amok, and they haven't done their calendar because they haven't figured out how to balance. That's a good way to balance because you can literally sit there and send messages while you're talking to your children because it's a cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. You can do it. Your children can be entertained for a little bit or taking a nap, and you can do your 20-minute chunks. And by the end of the day, your house is clean, your laundry's done, your dishes are done, and your calendar is done. And you're like, got it. I got control of this thing. Another thing, I do not reward myself until I've hit the goal. What does that mean? So last night, we have $1 million plus team every month, whatever. We had people hitting ranks left and right, but I had a personal goal that most of y'all don't even know. I set that every month. It may be this month, Susan, you're having 35 free accounts. Do y'all know how hard that is when you've been in this business for 5.5 years? If I'm at Sunday night, March 31st, and I have 33 free accounts, I ain't doing nothing until I get those last 2. It's not an option. But here was the deal. There's a show on Netflix I love to watch. That's how I clear my mind. I wasn't allowed to watch it until the goal was met. That goal was not met till 9 o'clock last night. And guess what? I binge watched Netflix for 2 hours after that because I could. Okay. So, and I don't do that very often, but let's say Wednesday, just so y'all know, I'm supposed to go get my lashes filled at 1:30. I have a personal goal for this week that has to be done before Wednesday at 1:30. Guess what? What happens if I don't get my goal done? Do I still go get my lashes done? It's not a punishment to me, but it's you better get your crap done so you can go get your lashes done. You don't get to take off for that hour until all of your stuff is done. If you know you have a child's party to be at on Friday, you can make sure you have all your stuff done before you go. That's your reward. I don't get my nails done. I don't get my toenails done. I don't get my eyebrows or my lashes done until I have met the goal for the week. Now, they're not always big. But if I know I haven't, I'm like, okay, Susan, you can't get your lashes done until you have 15 new free accounts before Wednesday at 1:30. That is hard, okay? But, and everything on my calendar list for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday has to be done. I have to work out 2 times this week before I can go get my lashes done on Wednesday. It's not an option. That's the goal. And I set those sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, sometimes the biggest goal of the month. And I was so mad that last night, that biggest goal that I had was not met till 9 o'clock. I was like, good grief. And it was driving me crazy because I was ready to not be messing with it anymore. But guys, it wasn't for Susan to be 200K. It wasn't for Susan to make sure her team did $1 million in sales. It wasn't. It was a big one. And it was actually under Mike's account. So it was like I was a brand new promoter over there working that account. And so I wasn't stopping until it was done. I mean, everybody else is done for the evening. They're sitting down watching TV, not Susan. But then they all went to bed and I Netflix binged, and I could. That was my reward. So I do the time chunks a lot, and I do the work to get the reward. The reward does not come first, and then I do the work. It does not happen that way. That is a hard discipline to learn, especially when you're home all day by yourself. It's a hard thing to make, but I promise you, if you will just, it's like eating right. Not going there because I don't do that. But, you know, if I know that I need to do something and I got to eat right for 3 days, it's the hardest thing in the world to do, but you're the only one who can make that decision. So,
right.
And
I think
I
that
could write a book
too. Like, that's a lot about accountability. And so, you know, if you're listening to what Susan says and you're like, oh, that sounds like a great idea, but you know, Susan is self-accountable. Like she's not going, oh, I'm 2 accounts short, no one will know. So if you're like, I would totally be like, oh, I'm just 2 accounts short. I'm super proud of my 33 for the month. If you're like that, then get an accountability partner. Get somebody who will say, nope, you know, did you do this? Like, to me, the homework group is kind of my accountability partner, but it would still be easy to be like, oh, I'm in the group, but did I do it? So if that's where you're at and you need that extra, you know, signed, sealed, and delivered, someone to high five you, then ask somebody on your team or somebody that's not even on your team. Like there's plenty of Thrivers out there that would gladly be your accountability partner. So yeah, I mean, that's
but
a lot.
Don't ignore your accountability partner.
Right.
Like if you get one, don't ignore them.
Right.
You truly have to hold each other accountable.
Yes.
That doesn't work if you ignore them.
Yes. So there was just one question, and it just says, do you ever take days completely off? And we have 3 minutes and 38 seconds before Zoom is going to just go black. So
that's hard to say if I actually ever take a day off because my phone is with me all the time. If somebody asks me a question, I'm going to answer it. If I meet a person out wherever I'm at, then and they ask about Thrive, I'm going to talk about it. I probably never completely walk away, but there are days where I'm not sitting at the desk doing the time chunks and doing the calendar challenge. I may be doing it, but it's subconsciously doing it. There is never going to be a day where I shut my phone off and ignore every promoter that I have. Mm-hmm. There's never going to be a day where I'm not probably I may not finish the homework, but I'm going to try to do it. There's a lot of people who do that and that's okay. You know, if that works for you and you're working 110% the other 6 days of the week, so be it. But you can't take off 4 days and do this 3 days and think that it's gonna work. It's not. But we all have our phones with us every day. We all, you know, there has been a time where I've been out of the country and had zero service. So maybe I took that time off. I felt so disconnected from everybody. It was horrible. But I'm never, ever not going to do something team-wide. I didn't get in this position by doing that. So many people call me bossy. Again, I didn't get in this position if I wouldn't do that. So yeah, it's a deal.
I tell Tom all the time, I'm not bossy. I am the boss.
Yeah. Somebody said that to me in Punta Cana because I was telling everybody where to sit, and they were like, they had never met me. They just quickly.
Oh. Well, now they know
that was Susan. And I went over there and they were like, we saw you bossing everybody around. Yeah, I was like, well, I didn't get in this position by not telling, you know, somebody's got to handle it. But
now they know.
So I don't ever take a complete day off. Any other questions real quick before we finish up?
That was the only question that I had. So I will just end with thank you a million times over. This is the first time I think you've ever been on one of our weekly Zooms. It's usually much smaller and more chatty, but this is so good that we had you on here. This is recorded. It'll take me a little bit to get it downloaded and then uploaded and all that jazz. But once it is, I'll share it on the team pages that I shared the event with. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for taking us to Thrive Church. I appreciate I think that
Amen.
everyone really liked hearing an honest, no sugarcoat. It's hard work. You're not always at the top, and it's okay. And I totally appreciate that. So, all right, with that, thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.